There's been a lot of talk lately about the Lakers relying heavily on buyouts to build their roster. Like it's some kind of sign of desperation. People keep asking, how desperate can you be if all you're doing is signing buyout players? But honestly, I just don't get the fuzz. Why should it matter where the talent comes from? The Lakers needed a center. What's the difference between signing DeAndre Ayton through a buyout effectively for free and saving their valuable assets versus trading for a center and giving up picks or players? The smarter move has to be the one that fills the team's immediate need without costing anything extra. It's just common sense. Think about it. If you have an opportunity to get a player who fits your roster perfectly, why would you want to spend valuable assets to get him if you can get the exact same player for less? Especially when the Lakers are incredibly limited on assets. The more they can accumulate talent through buyouts, the better they're positioned to be patient and wait for the right trade or move later on. It's a way of playing the long game. Why rush into a trade that might not be optimal when you can sign a buyout player who fills the hole? Keep your assets intact and still have flexibility down the line. I've seen a lot of people say, if the Lakers had traded for DeAndre Ayton, things would feel different. And honestly, I agree, the narrative would have been completely switched. If the Lakers had made a trade to get him, everyone would be hyped up talking about how they just acquired one of the best young centers in the league. There'd be all sorts of excitement and optimism. But because they signed him after a buyout, the conversation turns negative. Oh, he's a liability. He's a problem. That's just the way the story shifts based on the path taken. But the player and his impact on the court don't change. Context matters here more than anything. The difference between a trade and a buyout signing, when both fill the team's needs, is really just about assets and timing. If the Lakers can fill all their roster holes via buyout signings and then wait until the trade deadline to decide if they need to make moves, why wouldn't they do that? At the end of the day, a championship is a championship. Whether you got there through trades or by signing free agents after buyouts shouldn't matter. What really matters is winning, not the route you took. I'm someone who talks about trades all the time. I want the Lakers to make moves, no question about it. But I've always said I'd rather see no trade at all than a bad trade. Patience is crucial. If you can solve your roster problems through buyouts or free agency, that's a better route than trading away valuable pieces for something that may not pan out. Yet despite that, there's this narrative out there that Rob Pelinka isn't doing anything, that he has to make trades no matter what. But why would you make a trade if you don't have to? Why give up assets when you can fix your problems by signing buyout players for cheap and keep your flexibility for the bigger picture? Look at the idea of trading for a guy like Marcus Smart versus signing him on a buyout. It's the same player, but trading for him would cost assets. Signing him on a buyout means you get him for a fraction of the cost and don't lose anything in return. It's a win-win. Imagine if Pelinka had traded a bunch of picks and young players for Nick Claxton or someone like that. Sure, fans would be hyped in the moment, celebrating the trade like it's a huge coup. But then, if the Lakers ended up signing DeAndre Ayton, after he got bought out, suddenly the narrative flips to complaining that the front office wasn't patient. Patience is key when it pays off. And so far, it's paying off. Look at the timeline. Within a span of just a few months, the Lakers managed to land two of the top picks from the 2018 draft. Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton. Imagine if any other team had pulled that off. Fans would be freaking out, praising the front office for assembling a dream team. But because the Lakers got these players through buyouts and signings, people act like it doesn't count. That's just nonsense. Why does it even matter where the talent comes from? Whether a player is a buyout free agent or a regular free agent, they're all free agents. Isn't the point of free agency to sign players who make your team better? So if Bradley Beal got bought out tomorrow, would it make more sense to trade for him or just sign him for less money after the buyout? The answer is obvious. Why pay a premium when you can get the same player for cheaper and without giving up anything? Would it have been better for the Lakers to trade for DeAndre Ayton, who had a contract around 33 or 35 million? Or would it have been smarter to wait, let him get bought out, and sign him for something closer to 8 million? The answer is clear. The route doesn't matter as long as you get the talent that improves your team. Yet this obsession over how the Lakers acquire players is baffling. It's not just Lakers fans who have this mindset. Non-Lakers fans also jump on the bandwagon talking about how the Lakers are scavenging from the scraps. But let's be honest, other teams are chasing these same players. Does it matter if a player is acquired through trade or buyout? Not at all. If Miami, for example, bought out Andrew Wiggins tomorrow, would we suddenly stop considering him a valuable player? No. That logic doesn't add up. I don't care how the Lakers put their roster together. If they don't make a single trade this year, that's fine. If they solve their needs through free agency and buyouts, perfect. Imagine if the Lakers offseason ended with them landing guys like Jake LaRavia, DeAndre Ayton, Joshua Okogie, Bradley Beal, and Nikola Vucevic. Wouldn't that be an incredible haul? If they had traded for all of those players, we'd be talking about how the Lakers fleeced the league and are primed for a championship. But because they got them all on cheap deals or buyouts, suddenly they're less valuable. Buyouts happen for plenty of reasons. Take the Okogie situation, for example. Charlotte is a young team with a logjam of players at his position, so it makes more sense for them to develop their young talent than give minutes to Okogie, so they buy him out, letting him find a spot on a contender while their youth gets more playing time. It's a win-win for everyone involved. Bradley Beal is another case where context is critical. He's not being bought out because he's no longer a good player, but because he doesn't fit the team's new direction, especially now that Miami has Jalen Green and Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton got bought out because he didn't want to stay in Portland and wasn't fitting in there. Sure, some question his character, calling him lazy or a problem, but even with those criticisms, he's still a legitimate 17 and 10 type of player, a top 10 center in the league. So again, why should it matter where he came from? If the Lakers manage to sign a core group like Jake LaRavia, DeAndre Ayton, Nikola Vucevic, or Al Horford, Bradley Beal, and Joshua Okogie, and then go on to win a championship, will anyone really care that they got these guys mostly through buyouts and cheap signings rather than trades? It's the most ridiculous thing to think there should be an asterisk because players came through buyouts instead of trades. A championship is a championship, period. If you need a center and can get one for free, why wouldn't you take that opportunity? It's like if you're hungry and want a hot dog. You can either buy one for $2 or your brother offers you one for free because he decided he doesn't want it. Are you going to spend the $2 or take the free one? Of course, you take the free hot dog. It's just common sense. If you eat that free hot dog and still want another, then maybe it makes sense to go buy one. But why would you pay for something you can get for free, especially when the free option is better than what you'd pay for? Why would the Lakers trade away picks and young players for a guy like Nick Claxton or Daniel Gafford when they could get a better player for free? It just doesn't add up. At the end of the day, I don't care how the Lakers get the talent. I care that they get the talent. That approach lets them stay patient. If the Lakers sign Al Horford in free agency, bring in Joshua Okogie and Bradley Beal, maybe add Amir Coffey, and solve most of their roster needs, then head into the season as a top seed, who cares if none of those guys came through a trade? It's about winning games, building chemistry, and eventually competing for a title. When the trade deadline comes, if they still need to tweak the roster, they can. If not, they can keep rolling with what they have. But this obsession with how the roster was constructed rather than how it performs is just silly. It's a waste of time to criticize the front office for choosing to be patient and strategic. Continuing from that, it's important to remember that the NBA landscape has shifted dramatically over the past few years. Teams have gotten creative with how they build their rosters, and buyouts have become a significant part of that strategy. Buyouts allow teams to acquire players who might not fit perfectly on their previous squads, but can still bring value in a new environment. For the Lakers, who are in a position where their trade assets are limited, buyouts present an opportunity to add quality pieces without mortgaging their future. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. In what could be one of the most sensational moves of the offseason, whispers around the league suggest the Los Angeles Lakers have made a bold, high-stakes offer to acquire Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant. According to sources close to the situation, the Lakers are not only willing to part with a considerable financial package, but have also included rising guard Austin Reaves in the potential deal, a decision that has sent shockwaves through front offices and fan bases alike. While No official confirmation has surfaced. Insiders claim the Lakers have become increasingly aggressive in their search for a dynamic playmaker to pair alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, with D'Angelo Russell's future uncertain and a growing urgency to contend for another. Titled in LeBron's twilight years, Ja Morant, despite his off-court controversies, represents a high-reward gamble. His explosive athleticism and ability to take over games could be exactly what the Lakers need to reignite their championship hopes. The inclusion of Austin Reaves, however, has raised eyebrows. The undrafted guard has blossomed into a fan favorite. In Los Angeles, known for his gritty performances, clutch shooting, and on-court chemistry with the team's stars. Many within the Lakers organization reportedly view Reaves as part of their long-term core, making his inclusion in the offer all the more surprising. For Memphis, such a deal would be equally dramatic. Morant, the face of the franchise, has brought national relevance to the Grizzlies with his dazzling performances, but recent suspensions and concerns over his maturity have forced the front office to at least consider their options. Bringing in a composed, team-oriented player like Reaves, along with potential future assets, could offer a fresh start and a new team identity. Of course, this all remains speculation for now. No deal has been finalized, and talks could fizzle out just as quickly as they ignited. Still, the very idea of Ja Morant donning purple and gold has ignited a frenzy of speculation and debate. Is this a calculated risk or a desperate swing for the fences? One thing is certain, if the Lakers pull this off, it would shake the NBA to its core. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.